What if I told you the reason most people never start on YouTube has nothing to do with how much they know? Today, I'm going to be talking about a few different beliefs that I'm working through currently and the beliefs that I'm changing them into on a day to day basis. Now, if this is our first time meeting, again, I'm Dorian Albritton and I'm rebranding myself through YouTube over the next 30 days because my whole goal with being on YouTube is to get out of that 9 to 5. And if you're watching this, you're probably in the same situation as I am, where you're working, doing the thing you're doing, but know that there's more that you want to do. So let's go ahead and hop into some of these beliefs that I'm working on crushing right now. And as usual, I have my notes. They're going to be on my screen, so I'm going to be looking down periodically so I don't yap the entire time. I can actually just talk to you and add some value to you. And so the first belief is something they call the guru fallacy. And what is that? That is the belief that you have to be on top of the mountain teaching to be on YouTube. Now, the reality is on YouTube, you really just need to be a step ahead. And I think for maybe the person that is watching now, still hasn't made their first video and they're watching me today, I'm maybe one step ahead of you. And that actually makes me more relatable. That makes me someone that you can relate to a little bit more versus trying to watch an Alex Hermosi, trying to watch an Omar El Takori or a Myron Golden and comparing yourself to them. They are at that guru level, but you don't have to be at that guru level in order to record on YouTube. You just need to hit the record button. And I think that is one of the beliefs that I'm still shaking because it took me maybe 3 years to just say, word, let's record. Let's just record. Let's just hit the record button. And then another year to do what I'm doing today. It took 3 years for me just to start the podcast that I started, which was a conversation that I was able to have with an individual over a webcam. But this is a lot different because I don't see you. You see me. And it's a bit awkward at first, but I'm only a couple of steps ahead. I'm actually, if you're keeping track of the challenge, I'm only on day 4. So I'm only 4 days ahead of you if you haven't started doing the videos. And so the expert hasn't necessarily forgot about the beginning, but they don't necessarily talk about the beginning anymore. I'm right here at the beginning with you. And so I want you to take away from this, you don't have to be a guru to record a video on YouTube. You just have to record a video on YouTube. And I think the next point that I want to get into, and it's an interesting point because I was actually talking with my guy Kyler. You're going to hear me mention him a lot. He's actually helping me and working with me through these next 30 days as I'm recording on YouTube on the YouTube channel. And he said expertise is what makes people watch. He said that's one of the beliefs that once you crack and get over that, you'll start to record anything and be okay with it. The reality is the algorithm rewards clarity on a specific problem. Not whether or not you have a lot of followers, not whether or not you're popping or getting a bunch of views or whatever the case may be. Now, there may be some instances where that may be credible, but it's not the credential of the person recording the video. I'll give you an example. Last night, I'm randomly looking up the concept called the law of detachment. I'm interested in it. I think it's a cool concept. I think it's something that I'm working on in real time, day to day, even in this YouTube channel. And there weren't any big creators that I was following. These were people that to you and I would be considered no names, but they were talking about the topic that I wanted to learn about. So I clicked on the video and I watched it. That's what YouTube is. And it's it's so cool when you realize all you have to be is one, yourself, and two, talking about something that someone else wants to learn about. That's it. That's really it. So speak from a specific problem. Don't speak from your resume. Don't, yeah, people can care about what you've done over time and they may give you a little bit more credibility when they listen, but for the most part, just speak about what they want to hear about. It is it is that simple. And then the third belief that I know I have is the fear of being exposed. And I think about this more often than I probably should because I know I struggled with putting myself out there because of a certain perception that I guess I gave to people about who I am and what I do. And it's interesting because you get afraid to publish because you may be exposed for who you really are and all this other just dumb stuff that may pop in your head. And the reality of it is documenting actually builds more trust than not, right? The concept of here's what I'm figuring out in real time, just like kind of what I'm doing right now. These are things that I'm working on and figuring out in real time. You may watch this video and say, "Damn, this guy's he's just like me. I can mess with dude. He's a solid. He ain't talking out of his ass. I'm giving you something that's real and authentic, and I'm going through it in real time." Again, back to a couple points ahead, but beliefs before. I'm only maybe, two steps, a step ahead of you if you haven't started your YouTube channel, if you haven't started your platform. You'll hear me ramble, you'll hear the yapping, you'll hear me stumble on words, you'll see me look at my notes and look back. These are all things that I'm still getting comfortable with, right? You may not be comfortable with them yet at all because you haven't started. So the point is, say what you're figuring out in real time, right? Not that you've mastered it over time. Yeah, you'll get mastery in something, but talk about what you're learning. Talk about the journey in real time. It's exactly what I'm doing, which is probably what makes me more relatable to you. You can probably resonate a bit with what I'm doing because I'm talking about it to you straight up. I'm not hiding it. I'm not hiding behind a title or a credential or anything like that. I'm just going for it. And that's one of the beliefs you that you can crush is you document the build, it'll build more trust versus you starting at the top of the mountaintop, so to speak, and talking as if you're already knowing everything. So drop the guru fallacy, drop the fear of exposure, document what you're going through because that right there will allow you to take a deep breath and just hit the record button. Appreciate you joining for another conversation. Again, I mentioned it on the previous video, but on this video as well, there's a community called the Six-Figure YouTubepreneur. I'm telling you, it's such a great community to learn a lot about this YouTube game, learn a lot about what you can do as someone who may be working full-time like I am, who's trying to become a full-time creator, especially specifically on YouTube. Great community to be a part of. I'm going to put the link in the description. Hope y'all have a good one. Peace.